Fans, it's Aztech101 in the ring. So, I have a gift for you guys. Just like Triple G says, big present for fans. Haha. Yeah, I have a pound for pound list for you guys. You know, I don't usually do this. I'm not a big fan of pound for pound lists, but I was inspired. I did a response video to Zone 6 Boxing. He asked a question, is Andre Ward #1 pound for pound? And it inspired me to do my own pound for pound list. I really thought about this, and I have a criteria that is very traditional. Okay? I have a pound for pound list, and my criteria is very simple to follow. The criteria is that the guys ranked higher on this list can beat the fighters below them if they were the same size. What I take into consideration is their style, their effectiveness, their technique, qualities in the ring. It doesn't have as much to do with their resume as it does with their qualities, right? And what they bring to the table. I don't care about how many belts they have. That does not play a part, right? What plays a part is their performances against notable names. That's what plays a part. I will use and I will accept any argument that has to do with resume if you're pulling up notable names and their performances in that fight. That makes a lot of sense in a pound for pound argument. But as of right now, this is my final draft. I'm going to start with number 10. At number 10, I have Gennady Golovkin. Great fighter. Has dominated middleweight. Middleweight is a very weak division. There's no elite fighter right now at middleweight. And Triple G has dominated that division. It has come out on top and has really made his name known. But his style, his technique, it's great. It's great for him to look very dominant against C-level fighters. But I have not seen him perform against an elite fighter. The only elite fighter on his resume will be the next fighter on his resume, which is Canelo Alvarez. And I have Canelo beating him in that fight, which is why he's ranked higher. Anyways, at number 9, I have Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is in a similar position as Triple G. He's dominating divisions, but I don't see an elite fighter on his resume. And do not give me Victor Postol. Do not fucking tell me Victor Postol is the elite fighter. But Terence Crawford has many skill sets, and I think that if he were to fight Triple G at the same weight, he would beat him. I really do. At number 8, I have Manny Pacquiao. I think that Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford are neck and neck. Honestly, I would not mind switching these guys. I wouldn't. I had a very hard time picking between these two, and I thought about what would happen if they fought. Now, realistically, if they fight, they're not going to be the same size. Crawford will have a size advantage, but in a pound-for-pound argument, when they're the same size, Pacquiao would not have to worry about that obstacle. So I'm thinking Pacquiao might come up with the lead and he'd have an advantage. So I got Pacquiao edging him by a hair. Erislandy Lara, lower on this list than I would probably put him if he was actually fighting notable guys. But I understand that Lara is a very talented fighter and he's pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. Definitely deserves to be on this list. And I think he beats Pacquiao by outboxing him. I think he beats Crawford by outboxing him and showing him a few things that he hasn't seen before coming from South America. I think that he would destroy Triple G. Right? And this is arguing if they were the same size. Again, pound for pound argument. But Erislandy Lara, I got him at number 7. At number 6, I have Keith Thurman. Keith one-time Thurman. I think that Keith Thurman can beat Erislandy Lara. If he was the same size, I think he would perform 10 times better than Angulo did. And Angulo dropped Lara twice. I think he'll be able to close off the ring. But not just that, he's not a standing punching bag. He can actually move his head. Keith Thurman is a very awkward fighter. I had a very hard time between Keith Thurman and Canelo. Number 5 is Canelo. Saul Canelo Alvarez. I had a hard time between him and Keith Thurman because if I imagine Keith Thurman being the same size as Canelo, I had a hard time with that fight. I think that Thurman is very awkward. Canelo is very technical, but that's a tough fight. Honestly, I would switch these two. But Thurman, I think, beats Lara, Pacquiao, Crawford, and Triple G. Therefore, I think Canelo beats everyone underneath him. But between Canelo and Thurman, it's a close fight. Number 4. All right, by the time I get to number 4, there's a huge gap in technicality and in technique. And I think that, number 4, it's Guillermo Rigondeaux. He washes the floor with anyone underneath him. He beats Canelo, he beats Thurman, he beats Lara, he beats Pacquiao, Crawford, Triple G. He's underrated when it comes down to his power because he doesn't show that as much as he should. The guy's very powerful. He can really destroy his opponents. And, from number 4 to number 1, there's everyone is neck and neck. I'm telling you, man, this is a close fight between anyone between number 4 and number 1, if they're the same size. At number 3, I have Lomachenko, Vasyl Lomachenko. I think he's very technical, and we all remember his performance against Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr., go look at predictions for Gary Russell Jr. and Lomachenko. People had Gary Russell Jr. as a top 10 pound-for-pound guy. This guy was very, very athletic, and he still is. Look at his last performance. The guy's a beast. Very technical, fast as fuck, and Lomachenko outboxed him. So, even though Lomachenko's resume isn't as thick as the rest, again, it's not about resume. It's about skill. And Lomachenko destroys Canelo by skill. I think he outboxes Thurman. I think he beats Lara. I think he outmoves Pacquiao. I think he destroys Crawford. I think he beats Triple G. Landslide. I think Lomachenko's a much better fighter than any of those guys. Very close to him, and right next to him is Roman Gonzalez at number 2. Roman Gonzalez was originally ranked number 1 by HBO and Ring Magazine, and a lot of people had him ranked number 1 because of his title defenses and how many title defenses he had, how many times he fought against ranked opponents, and then also how many times he moved up in weight, and he's been dominating for a long time. He had a loss in his last fight, but a lot of people feel he was robbed, right? Which leads me to number 1. Number 1 is the guy that people actually felt beat Roman Gonzalez, which is Carlos Cuadras. Number 1 pound for pound is Carlos Cuadras, the guy that beat the original number 1 pound for pound. We've never seen Roman Gonzalez as lumped up as he was after the Carlos Cuadras fight. We've never seen that. And Canelo Alvarez had a chance at fighting a number 1 pound for pound guy. He had a chance to do that, but at that time, the number 1 pound for pound guy showed his dominance. Roman Gonzalez, though, on the other hand, had a very tough fight. He got fucked up by Carlos Cuadras. And Cuadras has a very, very fast-paced, skilled... I mean, these lower division guys get into exchanges that some of these heavier guys cannot compete with. I'm sorry. A welterweight, middleweight, junior middleweight, super middleweight. These guys cannot compete. Light heavyweight, fuck that shit. They cannot compete with the exchanges that are going down in the lower divisions, which is why the 4, 3, 2, 1, these guys are smaller guys. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Andre Ward is not on my list. He did not make my top 10 pound for pound list. He did not make it. I think all of these guys, if they're the same size as Andre Ward, they beat Ward. This is Aztech101 in the ring, and I'm out.